David Foster and I were on a date for Maureen McGovern, record date at Dawnbreaker Studios, a place I used to do tracking. And on a break, David starts a song. And I immediately go over to the piano because David and I had been doing some writing together. And I came up with a melody right away for the chorus, verse, maybe it was a verse. I think it was a verse. And after that,
do you remember what song?
yes, Should We Carry On? Da 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 da. That's the chorus. After the session, we were both digging the tune. We went to my house. I always had a little studio of some sort. At that point, it was probably 8-track or 16-track, not sure. And we had a Rhodes there, and we finished the tune. We wrote the tune. I think David's wife at the time, his first wife, she wrote the lyrics. Negative lyrics. Their relationship was about to end. That was clear. Why should we carry on? Maybe the thrill is gone. Oops. Hey, hey, that's 2 wives ago for him. I'm sure he doesn't care about that anymore. We demoed it, and I sang it. I didn't like singing. I don't like singing. I don't consider myself a singer at all. I really don't like singing. I'll do it, but I don't like it. We demo it. David gives it to Tommy Mottola, who was Hall & Oates manager, eventually chairman of Sony, and says, Tommy gives it to the guy that was the president of Sony at the time, the chairman. I can't remember Bob. I can't remember his last name. We got a record deal. Now I'm the singer. I don't know if I want to be the singer. Wrote some more tunes, sang some tunes. Halfway through, I go, David, we need another singer. Only guy we ever auditioned was Funderburg, a high tenor of the era. High tenors were cool. Funderburg's in the band. That's how Airplay happened.
Why was there never a follow-up to that album?
David didn't want to do it. And I got us another record deal. Not with RCA, but with Warner's. David probably didn't want to deal with my shit, man. You know, I mean, David's a record producer with a strong feeling of how he wants things done, and me too. We're both control freaks, you know. But when we're together and I'm playing for him and he's producing, or he's playing for me and I'm producing, that's no problem, you know. But you know, I mean, you know, it was probably a pain in the ass. Who knows? It's too bad we didn't do another album because it would have been good always. The one thing about Airplay that's funny is it's way overproduced. There's too much going on. There's never a dull moment until you get the Bix. There's going to be another re-release right away in the end of the year or the beginning of next year for the 30th anniversary. I'm remastering right now for Japan, but that release will surely be available all over the world. And I got to tell you, sonically, I did a horrible job mixing that album. I used speakers that I didn't know, and I didn't learn them before I mixed, and they were showing much more bass than was actually on the record. And when I took the mixes over to Foster's house for the first time, he says, "Where's the bass?" And I go, "Oh, no." There was no time to remix it. I'm trying to save it in the mastering. Now with all the Waves plugins I have, you know, I got the Mercury bundle, so I got everything. I'm using a thing called Low Air to try to bring up the low bottom. You know, I'm using, of course, the linear broadband EQ. I'm compressing here and there. When there's too much 2K in the record, man, that 2K is painful. Doing my best to get rid of all this. I'm really trying to do a good job. They wanted me to remix it, but there wasn't enough time. It would take me 6 months. Because if I got in there, I'd start with sound replacer, trying to make, not replacing drum sounds, but adding a snare with the snare, adding a kick. Take forever to tweak this the way I want. Maybe someday. But anyway, man, Airplay, musically, there's some cool stuff. It's definitely different. It's definitely was a change. It doesn't really sound like anybody, you know?